Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. The Spice Boy himself, Ryan Rhodes. Ryan, it's been a long time, but I thought what a great time to come and see you, seeing as there's been some madness happening over the weekend. But before I even speak about
madness, what do you mean by that? I didn't.
The heavyweight fight.
Oh, right.
You know, only that world record attendance at Wembley Stadium. You know, that's
96,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
A street wave said it was awesome. But before I even speak about that, the last time I spoke to you, you wasn't a granddad. You're now a granddad.
I'm a granddad now. I'm a G-Pops.
G-Pops.
G-Pops, that's my name now in the house. Yeah, so proud and happy, and mother and baby's doing absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Just curious, how different is it from being a dad to a granddad? Is it the same feelings, or?
I think I had a little bit more hair when I first was a dad, but now no hair.
Yeah.
So just a little bit less hair.
And just curiosity, fighting genetics in the little boy. Is he going to be swinging them in a few years?
I believe he's already been inducted in the WBC top 10 ranking already. So yeah.
There you go, facts. Let's jump in there before we talk about the fight. I know you've got a couple of really good shows coming up. You've got Lennox Lewis coming to Sheffield.
Yeah.
And I know he does not do tours very often. I think this is a one-off in a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first one I think he's ever done, like a UK tour. So Friday the 8th of November, Sheffield City Hall. The man himself, to me, arguably one of the best ever to do it as a heavyweight. We're bringing him to Sheffield to talk about his career, his life, what he's doing now, question and answer, photo opportunity with Lennox himself. So it's an event what I've been asking Gold Star Spencer Brown to try and get Lennox to do a tour, and he pulled it out of the bag. We're a good one.
And how can they get tickets for the Sheffield show?
Through Sheffield City Hall, through myself, my own social media, or City Hall are selling them on their box office. So yeah, contact myself or direct straight to City Hall, social media.
Now, you've also got a big fight weekend. That whole weekend, you've got Lennox coming on the Friday, and on the Saturday.
And then on the Saturday night, we've got a show at the Magna, myself and Steffi Bull, making the rematch again with Joe Garside and Will Harrison. What a fight that turned out to be. It was a draw, it ended up a draw. We thought our man won, but it ended up a draw. So we've got a great card, great undercard in that fight. We've got young Huey Wilson from my gym making his 10th professional fight in a step up. We're stepping him up this time, so he's in a great fight. But what a great undercard. Check it out on social media, on BoxRec. We've got a great card.
And where can they get tickets for that event?
Again, all the fighters selling them from their social media. Contact myself or Steffi Bull for tickets and come and support a great local card.
Yep, that November weekend's going to be a big weekend in Sheffield. Let's jump into the boxing Saturday. Obviously, I didn't speak to you before the fight, so just quickly, who did you predict?
I had AJ winning. I had AJ. Hit the role he's been on, how he's... him and Ben Davis, I think, has been a dream come true fighter and coach. I think Ben Davis's style as a coach is suited AJ, suits AJ's style. He's a thinking fighter, and Ben Davis is such a technical trainer, such a technical coach. We've seen what Ben Davis has done in the past with other fighters, what he did with Tyson Fury, what he's done with Lee Wood, other fighters to name. But I just think they gelled so well together as fighter and coach. And yeah, I just thought AJ would have knocked Dubois out.
I think that was pretty much the prediction for most experts in boxing. So that first round, you saw AJ get dropped with that overhand right as he was moving off. You know, what did you think? Did you think he could recover?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he could recover when he got up. He was not in the best of states, but I just thought he'd go back to the corner, recover, Bennett talk him through it, get into his head like he normally does. But when he came out for that round 2, it wasn't right. It was a great shot what AJ got caught with. He never recovered properly. And all the way through the next round 3 and 4, it wasn't himself. Round 5, he came out and he had that success. And I'm thinking, he started to gather himself now. He started to, you know, shake that knockdown off. And when he landed a couple of shots, I'm thinking, he's getting back to himself now. He's getting back to his faculties. We're getting back right. But he walked on to a great shot. And in that heavyweight division, you can't afford, to me, throwing a shot like AJ threw, that backhand uppercut. You see so many fighters at the top end of the division, all the way down to kids started out getting knocked out by them shot. And I just saw it was not the right shot to throw at that time.
You will obviously seen the video that's been circulated on social media where I think Shane McGuigan is working for BBC Radio 5 Live, and then they've heard the commentary from the corner, and I think that you can hear Anthony Joshua being told to double up the jab and then bring it up, suggesting an uppercut. I think that was the instructions he got, and then he said he was going to roll the dice, and he also said that Dubois was shit. But obviously the next round we saw what happened. So was that? Why was that not the right shot?
I've never even seen that. I've never even heard that. I've not even seen it on social media. But for a fighter that's just getting his senses back right, to roll the dice, to chuck a double jab and then chuck it from, bring it up, which is, I'm thinking he's meaning bring it an uppercut up. Like, we was talking about this earlier in the gym, that shot from any fighter what throws that uppercut from the backhand, with that momentum to get that power involved in it, you're bringing your lead hand down. You're bringing the lead hand down and throwing that uppercut up, which you're wide open. You've got no defense whatsoever. So I don't get why he threw that kind of shot in that instance. Now, everybody's got their opinion on AJ, and, you know, whether he's an elite fighter or whether he's not an elite fighter. I think AJ is an elite fighter. I really do. From day one, and over the years, he's improved and winning the world titles and doing what he's doing. But any fighter from the elite level to the bottom, that is one shot I don't get why fighters throw. I really don't.
When is the right time to throw a shot like that?
Well,
because AJ's had some really good knockouts.
A straight backhand, you're leaving your opposite hand to your chin. With the momentum, you're pushing it out. With an uppercut, to generate more power, you've got to drop your opposite hand for an uppercut. You've got to. It's very hard when you're not fully there, when you've been wobbled and you've been dropped and you're out on your feet like AJ is, to throw that uppercut and not keep your opposite hand up to your chin as a defensive shot. It's impossible. I find it almost impossible. But he threw it. AJ Dubois timed that big right hand perfectly, and it was all she wrote.
Shane McGuigan in that corner, when he heard them instructions, he actually predicted and said it's a dangerous shot to do, and he said that Dubois will come back with the right hand over the jab. Is that from? You reckon that's from his knowledge of working with Dubois?
It's not. It's with the knowledge. It's what generally trainers would not tell the fighter to throw an uppercut from the backhand. I find it. I've always found it a bad shot for. Like I said, for any fighter to chuck that backhand, I've always found it a bad shot. It's so easy to get timed, to get caught, to get countered with a right hand or an overhand right.
What? Because AJ has had some really good knockouts with the uppercut. Some of his, like Dillian White, his name escapes me. The guy from Bulgaria, he dropped him with the right uppercut as well. What's his name?
I'm not sure.
You know what I'm on about though, yeah?
Yeah. I know which one you mean. What's he called now? Yeah, I know which one you mean, sorry.
Yeah. So hopefully the viewers will know. But so what time is the right time? Is it more like the kind of shot you do on a counter, or it?
Well, it's an up close shot. To me, it's an up close when fighters are up close and they're working on the inside. It's an up close shot. When you're at a distance like that and you've got to chuck that uppercut from a distance and it's got to travel. The perfect shot is the shot what Daniel Dubois landed. That's the perfect shot. If you're up close and you're working to body and bringing them up, then you're less likely to get caught with a power shot. But from a distance, to chuck that uppercut from a distance, being so far out of range, it's the perfect shot to get countered with that right hand.
Should he have rolled the dice in that round? Because that was the other instruction.
No, I think he could have. I think he just looked like he was getting himself back to normal. So I think he could have played it a little bit cool, a little bit, kept out of the way, keeping his defence up, making sure, gathering himself a little bit better, making sure that his legs were coming back to himself. But I just think he rolled the dice too quick. Throwing that shot, it just weren't that right time. He could have just gathered himself that little bit more, made sure, gone back to the corner. Ben Davies would have talked to him and getting him thinking right, getting him back to reality and back to where he should have been in that fight. But just, I think he rolled the dice far too early.
Obvious question: there's a rematch? I think Frank Warren suggested it's not contracted, but should he rematch Daniel Dubois based on that fight where it played out?
Yeah, I think he should. I think he can't go out on that kind of fight. I think if they rematch, I'd be surprised if Eddie's not put a rematch clause. He always does it, and he admits it in interviews. He'll have done interviews with yourself. He's done interviews out there. He generally, when you've got the A side, he generally always puts a rematch clause in that in the contract, and I'll be very shocked if he hasn't done that. And I think AJ has to do the rematch. Has to.
In the most people's opinions, Dubois dominated that fight from the first round.
He did.
He didn't really lose any rounds. So
He did.
how do you kind of flip that fight from a
from a
domination?
He can't afford to be putting his head in the air, skipping off, too relaxed, hands slightly down, which is not AJ's style as well. Hands slightly down, skipping off and being too relaxed, thinking they were out of range. And then Dubois swinging that big overhand right. He can't afford that. He's got to be hands tight, like he has been in his last couple of fights. Yeah, the opponents haven't been on Dubois' level. I understand that. And it's like, it's all right, people saying, yeah, but AJ's opponents' last few fighters have not been on that level.
Putting it on him, that's what people said.
Getting rid of fighters what aren't on his level.
Well, that's what the narrative was, that the people he's fought in recent times under Ben Davison, they haven't put it on him. And Dan was the first guy that has put it on him. So what do you make of that viewpoint?
Well, listen, AJ can only fight who's in front of him. They only train to a certain style. They've obviously trained for Daniel Dubois to be in front of AJ and to put it on AJ, not recklessly, but calculated aggression. So that's one thing that they'll have worked on, a different strategy. They're not going to work on the same strategy all the time and same tactics all the time. Fighters are all different. They all fight the different styles, but it is what it is. And they've just had to fight to a strategy what they thought were right. And I just thought AJ wasn't himself, with his hands slightly down, being a little bit too relaxed and just not being himself.
Last question. Do you genuinely believe AJ can beat Dubois in a rematch based on the way that fight went over the weekend?
Listen, when you've got power like AJ has, and when you've got power like Dubois has, it takes one mistake, and we've seen it. We've seen it time and time again, where favourite fighters get beat, underdog fighters pull it out of the bag and win. At that level, it takes one mistake, and that's what happened.
Would you back AJ though in a rematch?
I would back AJ in a rematch.
The power argument, because we saw just before he got stopped in the last round, AJ landed a really clean right hand that landed bang on the button. It just kind of shook Daniel Dubois, but he recovered instantly.
Yeah.
So does that suggest, based on that Dubois is a bigger puncher?
I wouldn't necessarily that Dubois is a bigger puncher.
I spoke to Lawrence Okoli today, and he said to me, Dubois is the top two heaviest puncher he's fought, and AJ wasn't in the top two.
And AJ wasn't.
And he spent a lot of time around both men.
I can see it. I really can see it. But to me, AJ is definitely the bigger puncher. Just because AJ landed one shot out of 5 rounds, and AJ's legs weren't fully there. When AJ plants his shots and lets them go, he's taking anybody out. Anybody, no matter how good the chin is. He's taking anybody out.
Right, let's see what happens. Ryan, thank you for your time. Anything else before I let you go?
No. Just what a weekend of boxing. 96,000.
98.
98,000. All right,
98,
even better. Boxing's up there. Boxing's up there. And Turkey Al Sheikh is rocking it.
It is Ryan Rhodes. Thank you for your time.